Topping today's news, the country's homicide count increases by 2 over the weekend and another police-involved shooting. Bahamasair faced surprise industrial action on Sunday, causing flight delays and cancellations. And today begins a nationwide cleanup and beautification campaign that will last into 2023. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jcn Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It's a pleasure to have you join us. An axe-wielding man was shot and killed by police on Sunday night after he allegedly chopped another male about the body, leaving police to investigate the country's latest homicide. The victim is a 28-year-old man who became the country's 103rd homicide for the year. His attacker was in his early 40s. The incident unfolded in the area of Kenilworth Street and Mount Royal Avenue shortly after 6 p.m. Police Press Liaison Chief Superintendent Crystalyn Skippings gives us the details.
Males were involved in an altercation here at Kenilworth Street off Mount Royal Avenue, and that one of the males were chopped to the upper body. Police responded and on arrival observed the victim lying in the street with a male who was armed with an axe standing over him, attempting to chop him a second time. Hence, he was fatally shot.
Jcn News spoke with one of the neighbors near the incident who says the two victims were very close friends. She went on to say that she heard the gunshots once the police arrived on the scene after the male was chopped to the upper body. She said, according to her neighbors, the police shot without asking any questions. She expressed condolences to the victims' families.
I was in my kitchen when the police came through. I saw the light from the TV, and as soon as they came through, you heard the gunshot. So when I went outside, several persons told me that the two fellas had altercation, that they was drinking, and one chopped the next one, and as soon as the police came through, the police just shoot. They didn't ask no questions or tell the fella put whatever he had in his hand down or nothing like that. They just shoot. This is something that is so shocking to me, because the fella that the police shoot down, he's a nice fella and he's a very helpful fella too. Both of them are. But the one who got shot from the police, any neighbor could call him to even go up in the pantry or do get whatever for them, clean something for them, even though he worked. And so I don't understand how the police could just come through shooting at a man who isn't shooting no gun or pointing no gun at them or nothing like that, and isn't even a threat.
We also spoke with the brother of the suspect shot by police. He says this is the third time one of his family members has been shot by police. With that said, Chief Superintendent Skippings gives this appeal to members of the public.
Conflicts are inevitable. Conflicts will arise. There's no escaping of a conflict. However, there are some measures that you can take to prevent the conflict from escalating. Stop and think before you act. If the conflict is so great, I want to encourage you to find a reputable person in your community, find a pastor, find teachers. We have the community counseling and assessment unit. We have other counseling agencies. We have the hotline. We're asking you to reach out and speak with someone in an effort to resolve whatever the issue is that you may be going through with another individual.
With over 5 incidents happening last week alone, Chief Superintendent Skippings reiterates the Royal Bahamas Police Force crime-fighting efforts.
Our officers remain resilient. They work extremely hard every day. However, you always hear me talk about it. It has to be a collaboration between the police and the community. Family members have to be able to speak to their loved ones who are involved in conflicts. They have to somehow persuade them to be able to find an alternative way to resolve it. There's only so much that we as police officers can do. We're in the schools, we have our saturated patrols going on everywhere. It's now time for the Bahamian people to take responsibility of their homes and train their children so that they will know how to act in a civil society. What we're seeing now is a result of parents not doing what it is that they're supposed to do.
Chief Superintendent Skippings also gave an update to the High Point Road murder just off JFK on Thursday. She says police have one person of interest in custody in relation to that matter, as investigations are ongoing. This latest homicide follows the killing of a 19-year-old female that Jcn News sources have identified as Candace Clark. According to police, sometime around 1:45 a.m. on Sunday, the victim was with another female sitting in a car in the area of Arawak Key when a hooded male approached them, subsequently shooting the victim multiple times. Emergency medical services personnel arrived at the scene and confirmed the victim had no vital signs of life and pronounced her dead at the scene. Police are actively searching for a male suspect believed to be responsible for the shooting and are appealing to members of the public with any information that could help officers with their investigation to contact police at 911, 919, or the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991 or 2, or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, that's 328-8477. Police are also searching for a third suspect believed to be involved in an armed robbery on Friday. 2 shotguns and a handgun utilized in that attempted armed robbery were confiscated by police. Preliminary reports reveal that shortly after 9 p.m., 2 males, both of whom were armed with shotguns, entered a business establishment in southeast New Providence and demanded cash. It is reported that while inside the establishment, the suspects engaged a security officer, which resulted in one of the culprits being shot. Subsequently, they fled the establishment without any property. The security video of the attempted robbery has been shared multiple times on social media. Meanwhile, acting on intelligence, officers proceeded to a residence off Alexandria Boulevard in Nassau Village, where they found the weapons along with 2 males, ages 20 and 21, believed to be responsible for the incident. The suspects were subsequently arrested and the weapons confiscated. The search is on for a third male who was reportedly shot during that incident. There was an attempted murder on Grand Bahama on the weekend, and police are searching for a man that shot another on Sunday shortly after 11 p.m. Police received reports that a male was shot and was en route to hospital to seek medical attention. Initial investigations reveal that the victim was standing outside his residence on Frobisher Drive when an unknown male fired several shots at him. As a result, he was grazed to the head. He was transported to the hospital via private vehicle, where his injuries are listed as non-life-threatening. Investigations into this matter continue as well. As Bahamasair recovers from Sunday's alleged industrial action where 17 flight attendants called in sick, the airline's managing director, Tracy Cooper, says the company views the action as unforeseen and unwarranted. Speaking with Jcn News, Mr. Cooper says it did not take long to realize the nature of what was taking place when flight attendants started calling in sick and leaving work because of illness, resulting in what Mr. Cooper calls about 80% of flight attendants not coming to work, creating problems for the airline. According to the managing director, the industrial action was not something the company saw coming.
We didn't think we were having any adversarial or contentious items with the union. We were down to only 2 remaining items with the union, and those were things that we were working to try to bring to a conclusion. So we were a bit surprised, but we've re-engaged the union yesterday with the help of the Ministry of Labor. Not that it was something, but we just thought we could speed things up, and more importantly, to get the airline back functional.
In a press release from Bahamasair on Sunday, executives said it was thought that the airline was in constructive dialogue with the Airport, Airline, and Allied Workers Union, which is being represented by the Bahamas Public Service Union President Kimsley Ferguson. The press release revealed the cancellation of flights to Rock Sound, Freeport, Marsh Harbor, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale, along with canceled flights to Orlando as well due to the industrial action. Bahamasair has reached out to the Labor Board to assist with the closure to this matter.
All passengers would have either been told of flights that they can have today from our agent or from our automatic notification system, which is via emails or SMS text. Today is going pretty well. We don't have any issues. Everybody's getting on flights. And so we that by the end of the day, we would have accommodated or reaccommodated all distressed passengers.
According to the managing director, there are 2 outstanding issues still being negotiated as discussions with the Airport Airline and Allied Workers Union are ongoing. And finally, in this segment, in honor of Queen Elizabeth II's long reign as the British monarch and head of state before her death on September 8th, the Governor General, Prime Minister Philip Davis, members of Parliament, and other dignitaries of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas gathered at Christ Church Cathedral on Sunday afternoon for a state memorial service of thanksgiving and remembrance of the late sovereign. A procession preceded the service from Parliament Square to the cathedral, with law enforcement agencies, parliamentarians, and other dignitaries marching solemnly through Bay Street. During the 90-minute service, Prime Minister Philip Davis read the first reading, Governor General Sir Cornelius A. Smith read the second reading, and the President of the Bahamas Christian Council, Bishop Delton Fernanda, read the commendation. During his sermon, Right Reverend Bishop Laish Boyd paid tribute to the Queen's life and legacy and welcomed the new King Charles III.
Today, we gather to acknowledge the passing of the Queen of this realm, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and of the territory of the Turks and Caicos Islands, Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, to thank God for her amazing life and tremendous contribution, and to acknowledge the accession of her son and our new titular head, King Charles III. When Queen Elizabeth became queen, she was Queen of the United Kingdom, that is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and 32 other countries. At the time of her death, she was queen of only 15 of us.
Bishop Boyd also spoke to a discussion that has been in the public domain for some time, which is the Bahamas becoming a republic. He contends it is inevitable.
The Bahamas remains a constitutional monarchy. It is a form of governance that no government of the Bahamas has moved to change or seriously to discuss changing. This is not a criticism, since governments have a right and a responsibility to set priorities. And in my humble opinion, with all that we have had to face in the last 49 years, our status as a constitutional monarchy could hardly be termed a priority. But the point is that until we move to become a republic, we remain what we are, and the British monarch remains our head of state. Thus, the need for this gathering today.
The church service ended after the blessing and singing of God Save the King and the national anthem of the Bahamas. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.
Kids, let's go! Sean, what are you doing?
I solved it. We'll buy our life insurance policy from this company and then go over here and get our home insurance. Then get our motor policy from right over here.
Or we could just get it all with CG Atlantic. Save a lot of money and effort.
They do it all? Even pensions?
Even pensions.
We're like a husband that doesn't overcomplicate everything. CG Atlantic. Good like that.
Mala Marine and Generac have the standby generator that fits your needs. Conserve power by using only 1 or 2 circuits during an outage with our 7.5 kilowatt. Or manage your power usage with our 10 to 16 kilowatt standby. But why only power part of the house? Get whole house protection with our 20 kilowatt Generac standby and never lose power again. Give us a call at 393-7873 and get the right unit for you. Mala Marine, giving you power on land and sea.
Problem gambling and addiction has many faces. You never really know you have a problem until it has overtaken you. You just keep on making excuses. You could be down to your last dollar and listen to that voice that tells you you might just hit one big number or even a lucky spin. Before you know it, you begin chasing your losses and borrowing money from your friends, family, and even strangers. The next thing you know, you are using the money for your rent or electricity bill. Then when you become so desperate, it's the children's school fees, lunch that is being used to feed the addiction. It just doesn't stop. No matter how much you lose or how many people you hurt, you're the last person to admit that you have an illness. You are in constant denial, lying to yourself and playing the blame game. They don't understand. They don't get it. Everyone is always judging me. You stress me out and cause me to gamble. You become your own worst enemy without even realizing it. It wasn't until I lost the trust of everyone that was there for me and was completely alone that I can see that something had to change. I really needed help. I just couldn't do it on my own. If you or anyone else you know needs help, please call the numbers on your screen. Remember, hope and help is available. Call today.